All right, we back. Well, Moses, before he left the land of Egypt, you know, he was living in the house of Pharaoh. He grew up in the house of Pharaoh. Pharaoh's daughter pretty much adopted Moses and used his mother, to nurse him. But Moses, he seen a Egyptian uh, smiting an Israelite, and he ended up coming against the Egyptian official, and he slaughtered him. He killed him, and then he left the land shortly after he killed him. All right, but that's why the Most High he said go back, right? He say go return to Egypt. He said before those men who sought thy life are dead, and thou shalt speak unto Pharaoh and send forth the children of Israel from his hand. And Yah showed him to do signs and wonders in Egypt before the eyes of Pharaoh and the eyes of his subjects, in order that they might believe that Yah had sent him. See? So you see that the Most High Yah, he been with us from from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to Moses, you see? And now he using Moses and Aaron to deliver Israel out the hand of the Egyptians, right? Because in Egypt, you know what I'm saying? He using Moses and Aaron to deliver us out the hand of the Egyptians. All right? So Moses was over Israel at this time. And he told Pharaoh, he said, let my people go. That's what Most High tell him. Right? And when Moses passed on, the Most High spoke to Joshua, right? And Joshua is who actually led the children of Israel into the promised land, into the land of milk and honey, right? So Joshua is who actually led us back into this land of milk and honey. The Most High ain't let Moses go over because of an act that Moses had made and because of his old age, But Joshua learned the ways of Yah. Moses taught him the ways of Yah, and he led Israel over, And then, after Joshua passed, we had the elders in Israel, but it was like we kept falling. Then the Most High deliver us, and we were falling and deliver us, all the way into pretty much what the Philistines was ruling over us, and Samson was born, right? And he was supposed to be a deliverer of Israel. He was born with the strength, with strength. They say strength was in his hair, but in reality, Yahawah was his strength. And Samson, he slew over 1,000 men. But we finna show. We gonna show that in the in the Torah. We gotta go to the book of Judges, the 16th chapter. All right, Israel, we're in the book of Judges. We got to go to chapter 15. We're going to read verses 14 through 16. We're in the book of Judges. All right, chapter 15. We're going to read 14 through 16. Ready? You say, and when he came unto Leah, the Philistines shouted against him, and the spirit of Yahawah came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from his hands. and he found a new jawbone of an ass, and he put forth his hand, and took it, and he slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass heap upon heaps, and with the jawbone of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. So Samson slain 1,000 men. See, you see, Samson, he killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass, man. The jawbone of a donkey. Samson killed 1,000 men, right? But check this out. We're gonna go to the book of Judges. We're gonna read it's chapter 16, 28 through 30. Check this out about Samson. Now check it out. Here we go. 28. And Samson called unto Yahawah and said, Yahawah God, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me, I pray thee, only this once, O God, O Yahawah, that I may at once avenge of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. So Samson, he wanted to avenge. He wanted to see he wanted to do it and see it with his own 2 eyes. 29. And Samson took hold of the 2 pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand, and the other with his left. And Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself, with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords. So the house fell upon the kings, right? And upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew with his death were more than they which he slew in his life. So when Samson pushed down these 2 powers with the strength that the Most High Yahawah gave him, he killed the kings of the Philistines and the people that was there with him in the house, but he killed more than he did in his lifetime. And you remember, he killed over 1,000 men with a jawbone of an ass, right? All right, one more. Shalom.